Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Knockout from the Prime Universe. I'm going to go ahead and put them off to the side real quick and look at this box, which, yep, you can see is a Legacy box. You got Knockout there with a gun on top of his firing a laser lightning thing. Yeah, you got that. You got Transformers and Generations, Takara Komi and all that stuff. On top here, you have your Legacy. On the side, you have a couple pictures of him in robot mode, which looks pretty neat. On this side, you have, of course, half of the line artwork. On this bottom, you have the copyrights and all that. And on the back, you have a couple product shots and warnings. And, of course, the QR code if you want to go see the tech specs online. Also comes with instructions, which are pretty simple and straightforward because, well, it is just a remold of Studio Series 86 Jazz. Yeah. Knockout. Like I said, remold of Jazz there, and he's much, well, red, black. You can see with some bits of silver here and there, and well, and white on his face. You can see white, red eyes, bit of a goatee picked out, little tiny Decepticon symbol there, some silver, translucent plastic there for the headlights. You got some gray, red, some silver down there, some red, gray, and there's a little black and red, and yeah, some yellow for the wheels, which is nice. And yeah, you got his backpack and everything, which compresses down pretty easily. And yeah, so Knockout. Well, yeah, he has gotten a big conversation because once again is a Prime character who has not gotten, well, a Prime look. In fact, he is very G1ified, and a lot of people are really upset about this because, well, Knockout had a very distinct look in the cartoon and everything, and even the original toy didn't get quite right. So people are kind of upset that this is not a very Prime-esque Knockout, is a G1ified Prime Knockout, which, for better or for worse, this is how it is, I guess. Yeah, I like how it looks, but yeah, it is very, very different. Like, you know, Prime had this whole split hood thing, kind of looked like a, almost like a fur, you know. One of those things, yeah. So, it looks good, but it's definitely not accurate. It's G1ified, and yeah, I don't know. It's also based on the Jazz mold, which got some people freaked out because, well, Jazz is notorious for breaking. He does come with a couple accessories. Basically, well, this gray piece right here, which can be a gun, you know. Plop it in his hand like this. It's a gun now. There you go. And this piece, which is translucent with a bit of blue paint on it, and this can be a daggery thing or something. You can put that on this, you know, side of his fist. You can put it in his fist if you want, or you can do the thing where it emulates his little spear weapon. Take these pieces and just kind of bring them together like that, and then you go ahead and peg it in using this peg right here, and now he's got a spear, which pretty neat. That it fell over because yeah, pretty neat that. Anyway, yeah, so you can hold it like that if you want. Of course, because of different peg holes and stuff, you can, you know, attach to the side if you want using this peg, or, you know, peg into his back like that. Got a lot of options there if you want. Anyway, articulation, his head is on a ball joint, so you got left and right and up and down, and got a bit of wiggle here and there. This thing. You got all the way around. You got outward. You got bicep swivel. You got elbow bend. Nothing at the wrists like that. You got a waist swivel. Other thing I want to mention I forgot, which is this right here. Sometimes unclips really easily. Unfortunately, that can unclip really easily on mine. I'm not sure how common that is, but that's the case on mine. Hips though, you got forward that far, back that far, outward that far, and thigh swivel. Knees, you get that much bend before you start, well, untransforming it, because yeah, it looks like, oh, look a double knee joint, but then you realize how much of a void you're leaving there, so it doesn't look great. And ankles can tilt that far, and you got the toes, which can kind of go down, but that's mostly for transformation of anything. But yeah, pretty decent little bit of articulation for the bot mode here. And real quick for comparisons, here he is with Jazz, which you can see down below. The actual one other thing, I was complaining about these side pieces being really loose. They definitely fixed that. These are nice and tight. They do not move. They clip in nice and solid, and they are nice and tight. You don't have to worry about that. But you can also see the extent of some of the remolding. The chest is way different. The arms are different. The new head. But yeah, pretty much for everything from here down is pretty much the same, except for the car pieces themselves and the feet. But yeah, large chunks of it are the same. But yeah, you can see the extent of the remolding to a degree, but also the extent of how much they have in common. And there's one thing also interesting, they have different locations for the bag, and yeah, different roofs and everything. So it is, the car itself is significantly different. So you go on that. And also real quick, because, you know, they're also part of Legacy, here's a Prime RC Legacy version. And here is Bulkhead, although that's the Wreckers version. And because they are pretty buddy in the cartoon and everything, just put them together, although the aesthetically they don't match anymore. Here's a Prime Breakdown. So yeah, definitely not the knockout people are hoping for, but it's the one you're getting. Unless you want to go to the red version, not have a non-transforming version, but whatever. So anyway, transformation. Yeah, it's the same as Studio Series Jazz, so yeah, go ahead and remove that if you haven't already. And down here, what you want to go ahead and do is kind of pull this out a bit so you can get this around and re-clip it in up here. Okay, again, real solid. This time, same thing. Rotate it around and clip that in. Bring the feet and close those up like that. Go ahead and collapse these up, the legs up like that. Yeah, untab and collapse like that, and tab them together. So, go ahead and take the fists and rotate those in. That. Go ahead and lift this up and bring these out, untab them, and then bring this back like that. On mine, this joint was really stiff on mine initially, so be careful with that. Unclip this and rotate this piece around. Just rotate that piece around. And then, of course, bring this forward so you can then bring the head through. Bring the head through and then bring this up right there to fill in the hood. Bring the arms back and then rotate them like this so that they, that. Bring it back. Rotate it like this and then rotate that inward. So. Then you go ahead and bring this down. Use those hinges and stuff and bring it down and clip it in everywhere. Then bring the doors in and they'll tab over that and onto the sides of the car and everything. Same thing on this side. Bring it and tab that in. Tab this in. It's all nice and squared away. And there you go. There's Breakdown in his vehicle mode. And yeah, that's a pretty nice little car mode. You can see some pretty cool details on there. You can see some little, I guess, of the kind of a weird digital effect. You got the yellow wheels and some striping. So yeah, you got this weird, barely noticeable in some lights, kind of silvery, but also burgundy coloring. Yeah, I got the nice windshield. You got this, you know, even got the little ridges down there. It's translucent plastic there. Again, you got all that stuff there. Mostly there. You got details on the back, although largely unpainted. Yeah, it's on the side you can see that pretty clean, but yeah, it's largely a pretty good looking car. This is, I think, the star of the show here, honestly, with this guy. Just the car modes looks really nice. I'm trying to remember what the original car looked like, but it was not too far off from here. So car-wise, it's actually much closer to the original animation than the robot is, but still not quite, you know, the same. And it rolls decently. This wheel right here sometimes doesn't like to hook up super well, but you know, rolls pretty well overall. And of course, you can, well, if you want to, store the weapons like that, or of course like that, and this sort of thing if you want. Yeah. Of course, there's all that stuff you can do for storage. Overall, pretty solid looking car mode. Real quick comparisons. Again, here he is with the Jazz. Again, you can see how significantly different the tooling is for the two cars. And again, this one holds together tighter than this mostly because this isn't a problem on this guy. Yeah, you can see just how different the cars are, just in general. Same wheelbase. Actually, the wheelbase itself, I think, is slightly different too, which is amazing. Yeah, they are quite different. So it's actually a pretty significant retool. The only thing, is only if you really look at the bottom, you can really see that they're pretty much based on the same tooling engineering. So yeah, pretty nice. Here it is with the Legacy Prime RC and bulkhead. Again, you can see alt mode scale is of course out of whack, but just for the sake of it. And here is its Prime breakdown. Just yeah, you can see that the two styles don't really match, but I don't know. Might still work well in it like this, but it is what it is. So there's that. So should you get this guy? Well, it depends on a couple things. At this point, this is my third version of this mold between the Jazz, Jackpot, and him. So there's that. This is the third opportunity to get this mold, I guess. If you're a big Prime fan, you're probably mad about the fact it doesn't look like the cartoon. So there's that. I don't know. Overall, it's actually a pretty good toy and improves immensely on the written mold it's based on, just because it's not flopping around and everything. Unlike even Jackpot had that problem, just being floppy. And it's a really good looking car. I think it actually looks good overall, but it's not accurate. So that's kind of that whole thing of like accuracy has been thrown out the window, or cartoon accuracy, because of G1ified it. And that's going to put off a lot of people. I think it's still overall a good toy, but if it's not what you want, it's not what you want, So yeah, if this review convinced you, great, go get it. It's a pretty good toy. It's part of Wave 2 of Legacy, which has been sporadically hitting stores as of right now and popping up on some online shops. Yeah, I think it's a good toy, worth at least considering. But if you're just kind of like don't want more of this mold, or don't really like the fact that it's not cartoon accurate for Prime Knockout, then I can't help you on that. But it is overall a good toy if you're willing to check it out. So yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you found this informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter, Nemesis Prime 1, and check out my Coffee and my Patreon. And I shall see you next time with another video review.